the concept of this podcast, the front runner,
Mm-hmm.
kind of pulls from my experience as a track and field athlete.
Okay.
And so in track and field, as a front runner, you're not expected to win. You're the underdog. And so, because the odds are stacked against you.
Okay.
And so when you think about this concept of the front runner, they're an overcomer. So the front runner is a person who take risks, bet on themselves.
Oh my God.
Run their race.
Come on now.
And who run to win.
Come on now.
Now, when you consider your upbringing and where you are today, would you consider yourself to be a front runner?
Yes. I definitely will consider myself to be a front runner because I never met my father a day in my life. Never. He could walk down the street right now. I wouldn't know who he is. Wow. Right now, I just go around on Father's Day saying Happy Father's Day to brothers, hoping somebody say hello, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So growing up with that like that, and then having to go through thinking something is wrong with you, you feel different. You feel what's going on. Then finally, because I was told who my real father was after I was told who somebody else was my father. So once you find out the truth, all those emotions come back on you all at once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was easy for me to be angry. It was easy for me to be upset. It was easy for me to be withdrawn, all that stuff. So once I got through all that with the war, hearing all that, because I heard all that during the wartime. So once you go through all that and your mind is going through and all that stuff, you come back, you're supposed to be a statistic.
Wow.
I was supposed to be a statistic.
Yeah.
So went through a divorce. Matter of fact, this is my third and final marriage. So I'm done.
Amen.
This is
Amen.
it.
Yes, sir.
This is it, because I had to go to therapy to find out why was I this way. I couldn't understand it. And, I heard people tell me that you are hard to love. Okay.
Man, that's tough. That's tough to hear.
That's tough to hear.
Hard to love. Wow.
Hard, because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't love myself. I went through thinking that my mom treated me different. So when I didn't have that love from the beginning, how can I feel like anybody else can love me?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So once I went to therapy and started breaking down those walls and start breaking, I am somebody. I am somebody. I can do this. I can do. So being in the military, you really never think for yourself.
No, you don't.
They tell you where to go. They tell you how long you're going to go. They tell you what you're going to eat. So it is like you are being trained to a point that, because this is not like a regular job. You're going to war. This is a life and death thing.
Yeah.
So I come back, went through a divorce, and got married again. But I was in my therapy stage and realized that I can, I need to do something else with my life, because I worked for the government for 12 years. So I retired, worked for the government. I never gave my brain time to relax from the military. So as a front runner, I took a leap of faith and left my government job making great money.
Wow.
Great money. Left my government job 6 months before COVID hit.
Really?
I had left my job to go comedy full time, and then COVID hit. Everything dried up.
Wow.
And I had to trust God, because right then felt like a failure again. I didn't hear from God. Oh my God, I can't believe this. But my wife, who the military called my caregiver, I call her my partner in recovery. Okay.
Yes,
she is my partner, because when you say caregiver, that means I don't have to do nothing. That means she has to do everything, because she's caring for me.
Wow.
But when you say partner in recovery, it changes the language, and it changes what each person has to do. That means I have to go to my therapy appointments. I have to take my meds. Yes, I do take anxiety meds. Yes, I do take antidepressants. I am not ashamed to say it. So it makes me do my part, because this is a partnership. So I truly believe, yes, I should have been a statistic, but I thank God that what God has blessed me to have my own podcast, my own Facebook Live, talking about PTSD and processing traumatic situation differently. I'm like, okay, God, all I went through, it really wasn't for me. It was for the glory of someone else. I mean, it was your glory to help someone else.
Yes, sir. And that's powerful. And I see you and your bride on Facebook and doing things together, man. That's
we do our videos. We do our videos together, and it's amazing how that came up. That came up because when COVID hit and we couldn't go nowhere, my wife was a stay-at-home mom, so she always had a routine. Okay. I didn't have no routine. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to going to work. Now I had no work. I'm sitting at home. I'm getting mad because she vacuuming. That's her routine. That's what she So I felt like I don't have anything to do. So as you said, don't wait till it get to rock bottom. I went and talked to my therapist. I said, listen, I'm stagnant right now. I'm stagnant. I don't feel like I'm bringing anything. I don't feel like me and my wife connecting. She said, I can't tell you what to do on that. You're going to have to figure out what you have to do to make y'all connect.
Wow.
We started doing the videos. And when we started doing the videos, we started connecting because we was together. You know, COVID, you was with your spouse 24/7.
24/7, yes, sir.
Like, hey, do you like me or do you like me or don't you like
me? I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I'm pretty sure like
it was a whole lot of
issues went up, during that time.
Yes. So that made us talk, that made us be more because I met my wife in the comedy club, so we both comical. So it made us come together, and that's been going strong for almost 3 years. We've been featured on the local news station down here. It's just a blessing that God
share that together.
Yeah, and we can share that together.
That's awesome.
So it's just truly been a blessing. So being, as you say, yes, could have easily been a statistic. Growing up with a stepfather who didn't really care nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? It's always about him and nothing about you, and really didn't. The only thing my stepfather ever did that was worth 5 cents. He told me to join the military.
Really?
And the only reason he did that because he didn't want to pay for my books in college. Wow. Or he didn't want to pay. I had a half a scholarship, and he didn't want to pay for the other one. He was like, nope, you need to go in the military. That was the best decision I ever made.
Best decision. Wow.
That's the best. Going in the Army was even though the Iraq, the PTSD, I still say that was the best decision I ever made. Man, I tell any young man or any young woman, if you don't have a plan right now.
Yes, sir.
If you go in the military, I would say Air Force now, that's just me. If you go in the military for 4 years and get you let them pay for your education, you got you a home loan when you come out and save them.
Yeah.
That's a start. If you know what I'm saying? That's a start. That's just what I would say to a young person. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. Front runners, man.
You don't know this, but I'm a chaplain in the Air Force Reserve.
Come on now.
So I'm biased. I would say Air Force as well.
I would say Air Force too, and I'm Army retired. I'm just saying.
That's
just
real.
Saying. Yeah. If one of my kids was going to the military, I would tell him try the best to go to Air Force.
Hey.
I mean, because I wasn't smart enough to go to Air Force. I couldn't pass that test. That test was hard for me.
and I find that many young people who I talk to about military, that's the thing. That test is the thing that discourages them from even pursuing.
Correct. But you can but you can study that test.
You can.
I mean, that's the key. You can study. There's so many, things out here now to help you study to get to where you're going. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, look at you, Air Force chaplain.
So you can see I see you as a front runner as well, and you can see yourself as a front runner.
Yes,
so you talked about just that fatherless wound that you had growing up. You talked about just constantly hearing like you're tough to love, and I can imagine, man, as a young person, how challenging that is, because you hearing someone like how that make you feel about yourself. Like, if I'm tough to love, like, how can I love myself then? You know what I mean? It's like, how can I love others? And you just kind of going through this challenging time of hearing this. Cause I know when I was growing up, I would constantly hear this narrative that, as a young African-American male, that I was more likely to go to jail than to go to college.
And
constantly hear these things.
Yep, that's true.
And it's like you start believing it.
Right. Correct.
And then it affects the way you live. It affects the way your relationships with other people.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You overcame those things. I overcame, that as well. Correct. In my life. And then just your stepfather and just that dynamic. But your stepfather did tell you to join the military, which you mentioned was the best thing that you could have ever done.
Yes, sir. What the enemy had for evil, God had for good.
God used it for good. Amen.
I'm out front running all day.